We are here at the York County SPCA. We're taking a tour. We're going to check out all of the dogs, cats, rats, and some rabbits too that are available for adoption here at the SPCA. Learn about the services that are available to the community for families and pets that are feeling challenged and need some assistance. The trap, neuter, and release program, and a lot of other things that they have to offer here at the SPCA. And we're going to be kicking off the introduction of Victoria's Law, Senate Bill 234, that I'm co-prime sponsoring with Senator Lisa Boscola, looking to put an end to inhumane breeding practices at puppy mills here in Pennsylvania.
We've been in this building since 2007. We've been in the community since 1926. That's pretty cool.
Wow.
And in those years, we've only had 3 different locations. This is our 3rd location. So that's not bad. So we have 48 staff members. About 2/3 of those are full-time staff members. And so in 2019, we took in 6,000 animals. We had come and go, which is a lot. Last year, we only had about 2,300. So COVID-19 had an impact on us. What else? So the 4 things that we focus on, and everything kind of permeates from there, is of course, investigating and prosecuting animal cruelty offenders. So we have a police officer on staff, which is pretty neat, Humane Society police officer.
Fantastic.
And then we investigate, prosecute animal cruelty offenders. We find loving permanent homes for stray and displaced animals, which is what everybody knows us for, adoptions.
Right.
We educate the general public about animal wellness and safety. And we care about that because we want people to have a successful, happy, healthy, harmonious relationship between people and pets. Because if that's happening, they're not surrendering their animal to us, right? And then we control the pet population growth rates. So we did over 8,200 spay-neuter surgeries last year.
Which is the best way to stop overpopulation.
Exactly right.
And you also have some really neat programs that center around families that are in crisis. So families who are in crisis can bring their beloved pets here and you provide temporary shelter, and also in domestic violence situations, you'll take a pet in to help get a victim out of a bad situation, which I think is really wonderful. And I'm not sure how well known that is in the community.
Not as well known, and that's really great for you to know that and say that. Most people think of us as animal services, right? Obviously, we're a shelter, but we have human services as well. So for people who are fleeing domestic violence situations, we have a safe pet program. And so one of the reasons that'll keep a person in a domestic violence situation is they're afraid of what will happen to that pet if they were to leave. So we offer free refuge for people's pets if they're suffering a housing crisis, homeless, or domestic violence. So that's pretty neat program.
It's really good stuff that you do. So yeah.
And another reason that people would surrender their pet to the York County SPCA is because it's not because they want to be separated from their pet or they don't love their pet. It's because that pet needs a life-saving surgery that they can't afford to have. And so rather than see that animal suffer, they'll surrender it to us, knowing that we'll provide that surgery and then adopt the animal out. So that's really sad. So rather than having people be separated from their pet, we would rather provide that surgery for free or at cost and keep their people and pets together. So the type of patients that we see are in 2 buckets, 2 categories. One are community cats, mostly like unowned, free-roaming, feral cats. And then the other one is we would do owned cats, so animals, people's pets, right? So those are kind of the two categories. So for Tnr Surgeries, we only charge people $15 per surgery. The average cost of a spay-neuter surgery is what, like $300, $400, right? So pretty reduced price. And then for owned animals, our average cost for a dog is $100, and for cats it's $83. So this is the surgery suite where we perform, and this is set up to be a highly efficient operation, basically assembly room style. So Dr. Mann is the clinic medical director and also does the surgeries. So she can neuter a cat in like 15 seconds, Amy, something like that.
I knew it would be fast.
It's incredible.
Really very, very efficient.
So my vet, who's a great vet, does on average probably 6 or 7, like on her one day of surgery, like 6 or 7 different spay neuters, right? Here they're averaging 50 a day. So that's incredible, right? So we did over 8,200 surgeries last year. It's a very efficient, so it's like assembly style. And then all the vet techs prep everything, and Dr. Mann just hops back and forth all day long on doing these surgeries. Pretty cool. Yeah, so we did 8,200. I mean, 6,000 of those were cats. Half of those were females, and so a female can have 3 kittens, No, it can have 3 litters a year.
Right.
On average, 4 kittens per litter. So over the lifespan of a female cat, she can have 180 cats.
Right.
It's 1 cat. And we did like, I want to say like 4,000 of those in 1 year.
Yeah.
So imagine if we didn't do those surgeries, right?
How like
our community would be overwhelmed with cats. And plus we're vaccinating them too for distemper and rabies, which can transfer to humans. So we're also keeping the community healthy. Our pet food pantry program. So all the food that you see here is donated by the public, whether it's individuals or corporations that we partner with.
Yeah.
And then volunteers manage this entire section, and they take all the food that we get donated, repackage it into care packages, and then we give them away to people who ask for help. And we don't make people prove their income or anything like that. If they ask for help, we just assume that they need it, right? And so if you're food insecure, you're probably struggling to feed your pets as well, and that's what this program addresses.
Right, and then that way a family who's struggling can keep their pet, get through those hard times. I think that's wonderful.
Basically the theme is we want surrendering your animal to the York County SPCA to be a measure of last resort, right? We want to do everything we can. We want to connect people to as many resources as we possibly can so that they never have to surrender their pet to us. So common reasons why people surrender their pet: the medical thing that I talked about, they can't afford the surgery, they're struggling to provide food for their family, and so they don't want their pet to suffer. Well, we can address that. And then we have other services as well. So.
Have you seen an increase during COVID, just from economic challenges, that more people are needing food, pet food? And
yes.
Okay.
So here's the sad part: is like take the domestic violence example. Is that we know the demand for those services hasn't gone down, but our utilization has gone down. And so the way people get into this program is they have to be referred to us by a domestic violence service provider.
Okay.
Well, they're seeing a decrease in folks utilizing their services, not because the demand has gone down, but because they've had to do social distancing stuff. So their shelter could normally take 100 people, but now they can only do 50 because they have to space people out.
Right.
So they can only admit so many less. They're admitting less people into their program. The downstream consequences, less people are coming into the Safe Pet program as well.
Oh,
it's kind of sad to think about.
Yeah.
Yeah. When we go through the kennel, the dogs are going to make a bad impression of themselves, right? And they're going to bark, and some of them can be scary, right? Here's what's happening in the mind of the dog. And the reason why they're behaving that way is because there's a barrier between you and the dog. That's basically what's happening. So if you've ever walked in your neighborhood and you walked by a house with a fenced-in yard and that dog is barking at you from the other side, it's not because the dog's mean, it's because there's a barrier between you and the dog. The moment you put that dog on a leash and you take it for a walk, it's going to be like a perfect little angel and sniff things and want to tug the leash and go check out things and explore. It's not going to bark, right? Because there's no more barrier between you and the dog. So I just want you to know they're not bad dogs. There's a barrier between you and the dog. And also they're going to be, because of COVID, we're shut down. So normally we have public just circulating through there all the time. Well, they're going to see us, and they don't know us. We're not shelter staff, right? Well, most of us aren't. And so they're going to be extra reactive because it's cool that something different is happening.
Sure.
Blue means boy, pink means girl.
Oh my gosh.
Hi, sweet boy.
8 years.
Oh my goodness.
Wow, look at that dog.
I see that.
Frisbees.
Yeah.
These Frisbees are an example of an animal enrichment activity.
Okay.
So what we would do is we will spread peanut butter on the Frisbee, and that's like a treat for the dog. But what it's doing is encouraging the dog to come to the front of the kennel, and for the front of the kennel to be a reward.
Gotcha.
So that way they're not scared and hiding. We want the dog to make a good impression whenever people walk through, so people want to adopt.
Sure.
So we want them to come to the front, and then when they come to the front to be well behaved, right? And not mean. We want that to be a reward to come from. So that's what's happening.
Very cool.
So he's licking his lips, right? Because he's hoping I'm going to spread some peanut butter on the Frisbee. Those animals so you're going to see I don't know, 50, I think we have 50 or 60 dogs right now in the kennel. If you go to our website, only 10 of them are available for adoption. And so you're going to say, what the heck? I know that they have more than 10.
Right.
Well, the other ones, the majority of the animals here are protective custody cases, which means that they've come from a cruelty investigation. So we have a Humane Society police officer on staff.
Right.
and we conduct animal cruelty investigations, and they come to our shelter to seek refuge, and so we're prosecuting those cruelty cases, trying to get the court or the owner to sign them over to us.
Okay.
So every dog or every cat gets its own apartment and bathroom. So
how cute.
It's a 1-bedroom apartment for every
Oh,
cat.
they're renters.
Yeah. And then like bonded pairs will share a space.
This is my favorite, a black cat.
Those two, I mean, we would adopt together. For
Hi,
instance.
sweetie.
Oh,
hello.
Name.
Hello.
No, she's not. No, no, no.
And then when we're open to the public, people could just come in and play with cats when we're open to the public, which is a good way to get to know cats. These cats all came from a motel room. So there was 9 cats. So there was 9 cats, 5 dogs, and a family of 4 living in a single motel room.
Wow.
Unbelievable. So that's where these cats came from. They're all female, you can tell. They're all from kind of the same litter. Hey. Oh, okay. Don't you do it.
Hi.
There we go.
Hello.
You will definitely walk away with pet fur on your
Oh,
clothes.
that's all right.
Hi guys, look at
So
you.
these are all available for adoption.
It's been an amazing tour of the facility, seeing wonderful dogs, cats, rabbits, rats, all kinds of pets are available here for adoption. And thank you to Stephen, to your team for graciously opening the facility for us here today.
Absolutely.
Things are a little different because of COVID, but people can get in touch. They can access you online.
Absolutely, absolutely. They can go to our website even, ycspca.org, and they can fall in love with an animal there and schedule a visit to come meet that animal.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
And we were here today to kick off Victoria's Law,
That's right.
which aims at stopping inhumane puppy mills. Really, it's a humane bill. It protects animals from overbreeding and a lot of the health issues that come with that, but it's also a consumer protection bill in that it protects families who fall in love with pets, who have significant physical challenges and significant veterinary bills.
Absolutely.
So it'll be a good step forward, and we really appreciate your hospitality, your support, and come find a dog and fall in love.
Absolutely. You're welcome here anytime.
Thank you.